And here we are with just another spectacular riding day, and I don't know how excited I could be about it. Any day I get to ride the R1, I'm excited. So as I'm cleaning up and pre-flighting the R1 today, Karen's checking out the weather for me, the latest weather, but it is just projected to be a beautiful day, and that's great. She's got some cooking stuff in the kitchen she's working on, so it works out good. I ride early in the morning and she cooks, and we both have something great for supper, and I have my workout. But the R1 will give you a workout, and we're going to get a workout today. I wanted to do a little maintenance on it before we left. I adjusted the chain, put some chain wax on the chain, give the fish some extra food. They are so hungry in this warm weather. They eat more as the weather warms up. And in the winter, they don't eat at all. I wish I could say that. Anyway, let me just check what Karen's making and get suited up, and we're going to go on the open road. Oh, that looks so good. Homemade food almost every night of the week. Once during every ride when I'm riding any of the bikes in my collection, I tend to just look at them and I stand back, take some pictures, take some video, and I think, wow, I put a lot of hours, in this case a lot of hours, into this bike over the years, making parts, making those nose section pieces, painting the wheels, and every step of it. They're all out on the channel. If you search the topic you're looking for, the paintwork, the polishing, custom carbon fiber, everything's out there, and I look at the bike and I say, for me, so worthwhile. And the time you spend doing all these touches, all these custom things, and when you're doing them, and it's usually in the middle of the winter when there's snow on the ground, you never realize, once you get it done, you basically have it. In my case, I'm going to have it for the rest of my life. So worthwhile. Now, I remember zipping through some of these really fancy neighborhoods when I had the loud exhaust on the bike, and there'd be people walking dogs or people pushing baby carriages, and they'd look at me and give me the dirtiest look, or in some cases take out a small pistol and try to shoot my tires out. Loved the bike being quiet. And when I made those headlight inserts, I was determined, and it's really something I look back at. It's pretty funny. Going to that AMA race, meeting Josh Hayes, I always mention that. He was such a nice guy. And because I had bought an R1, I got to go into the area where they were working on the bikes, and I looked at that and I said, oh man, I got to make my bike look like Josh Hayes. And I spent probably the whole first year of owning the bike trying to make it look like Josh Hayes. The only problem is I couldn't make my wrist and my my clutch finger be like Josh Hayes. He really was a really superior rider. Thank you, Josh, for inspiring me. Now, everybody knows I love Yamaha blue, Yamaha racing blue actually, and a lot of the flat black parts, like the chain guard, like the seat covers, so many of the parts that come with the bike, even this bike, flat black, the parts around the lower fairing. Every time I painted something that was flat black, either shiny black or blue, I liked the bike more. Personal taste, maybe not everybody agrees, but I love Yamaha Racing Blue. And when I was going to paint the wheels on the bike, and this was a really long time decision I made. John Pothia made me a lot of mock-ups and we looked at them in gold and in different colors, bronze and shiny black, and with the stripe. And in the end, I think, and maybe I'm wrong, in the end, I think Karen and I both looked at each other and said, shiny silver. And she was right. Somebody did send me a picture of the nose section that they make, I guess they make it now, with the headlight pieces like that, but they didn't make it back in 2009 and 2010. And when I looked at the picture, I said, it's not a replacement, was not a replacement part you just bolt on. This was a kit that you had to buy the whole bodywork. And believe me, when you buy the bodywork for a track bike, it's not anywhere near the quality the Yamaha stuff is. And so by making those nose section parts, I think I satisfied myself. I have the best of all worlds. I hope Josh Hayes someday sees this and is impressed. I'm sure many motorcyclists meet one of the famous racers and they're impressed with his personality or his riding skill or the fact that he's got a younger girlfriend or something, whatever. But believe me, I was really impressed, and I can still see the Yamaha bikes in the paddock with that nose section, with the headlights, where the scoops are, and those scoops are such a defining part of the motorcycle styling. And as the years go by, you do forget some things, but I never forgot that day in Millville, watching Josh Hayes and the blue Yamaha. And one of the reasons I always liked this part of the country then, and I've been in a lot of other places, there's just such a variety of beautiful back roads that have almost no traffic, very low law enforcement, and from time to time you have to go through some populated areas. Now another thing, the parts that cover the mufflers, the carbon fiber, they were available from Yamaha, but they were flat carbon, so I decided to make my own. And when I was done, and I'd see other people that bought the ones from Yamaha, yeah, they're factory parts, but they weren't shiny like mine were. But it really is the overall styling of the bike. From every angle that you look at it, it just has a clearly defined, I think it's just a good quality design. And of course, the defining part of the motorcycle, even more than the styling, the cross-plane engine. This was the first year of the cross-plane, and no safety features and no traction control. Now, I always have a formula for figuring out if I've had a good ride. How much of the ride have I had no traffic in front of me, nobody in the rearview mirror, and relatively smooth roads? What percentage of a ride is like that? Now, it's funny. I've designed a lot of model airplanes in my life that people have sent me nice emails and nice things saying they were impressed with my designs and impressed with this or that or the other thing. And I really thought that was a nice compliment. And so I hope someday Josh Hayes gets to see this video. And Josh, again, I've said it before, and I think about it often, you did inspire this motorcycle. And what I really love about this bike is how the styling has stood the test of time. There's a lot of bikes, they come out and you look at them, and I don't want to mention any bike in particular, but then 3 years later, something better comes out, or newer, or nicer, or whatever. But I think a lot of manufacturers, their older bikes look better, without mentioning any names. There's a few that the older bikes, they just have that classic look, and the new ones, some of them, don't. And there's a special bond between an owner and his motorcycle when you know that you like a bike enough to keep in your collection until the day you die. And that's a special thing, because a lot of my friends just buy a bike every 2 years, or 5 years, or nothing wrong with that. They're probably ahead of me in some ways, maybe a lot of ways. But for me, this is what works for me, is having what I call, and I refer to them as my forever bikes, and this is one. Now I know I'll never sell my farm, and there's certain things I'm going to have forever. The farm, of course, is one, and for sure, this bike is another. Well, beautiful ride. All that's left is to see what the bride is doing in the kitchen. She's been making stuff every day lately. Great food. Thank you, Karen. So while I was out riding, and believe me, picking flowers every day for the bride pays off. Oh, these are going to be so good tonight. I can't wait. Anyway, all that's left is to put the bike away. So I hope you did enjoy sharing this ride with us. It was a spectacular day, and the R1 never ceases to amaze me how much fun it is. And this bike will keep you young. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button if you did, and thank you so much for watching.